many years that we've been coming to the festival and seeing amazing films that you guys acquire from all over the world, actually. So it's always an honor to be part of a collection of work that you guys select, and just the selection of a festival sometimes is honor enough. But to meet all the people, how far they've traveled sometimes to come, it's really important to have festivals like what you have, because the indie film art world relies on festivals like yours to give filmmakers the boost they need to keep making the work. So we're always excited to come, even from all the way from Los Angeles to be at the Vienna Independent Film Festival, because it's the kind of thing that keeps us going every year. So we started at the festival 10 years ago, and it's because of that experience that you keep making more films and more films. So thank you guys so much. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, and tell about your new project, about your new script.
So this
when are you going to film it?
Yeah. Whether it films or not is a big question, but this is the first time that we've actually come together to bring a screenplay to Vienna Independent Film Festival. And like a feature film, you know, it has to be judged and it has to go through the rigor of being selected from other festivals as well. So it's like, again, just a win to be here, and I feel like this is a great opportunity for us to test the screenplay to see how people like it, because if it doesn't register for people and they don't gravitate to the subject matter, for example, then why go forward with it? So this is really kind of like made us think that yes, this is probably a film we want to do. So don't be surprised if maybe a year and a half, 2 years from now, you get a copy of the film. It's called Come Monday. That will be
faster.
maybe faster. But we're looking for a really good actress, a name to play this one, because it's a very serious role, and we think that a role of this importance about end of life autonomy will probably attract a good solid name for the film. So we don't want to rush it, but we also make sure to really get a good actor. So yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I love this festival. It's one of my favourites, and you guys, your programming is kind of second to none and very up my street. And you know, it's kind of supporting artists and auteurs and filmmakers who are trying to do things originally and kind of with their own voice. So yeah, I think it's my third time here. So yeah, it was very important in my development. And the other thing, as Graham was saying, is meeting all these fellow filmmakers, and some people who are friends for life. You know, Peter Gallagher, you know, he's a good friend of mine now. So it's kind of more than just a film festival for me now. It's kind of a community of kindred spirits. So yeah, I'll always come back to you guys if you'll have me.
Okay, of course.
Of course.
Your films are very poetic, very inspiring.
Thank you.
You're a poet in your heart.
Thank you.
say thank you, Lena and Diana, for hosting this festival. It's wonderful to come with old friends and like-minded people, so thank you so much. The short film is What Next? It's a literary adaptation of Juan Gabriel Vasquez's short story, The All-Gay Saints Lovers. He wrote it about 2000. It was one of his earlier works when he was still living in the Ardennes. He's a Colombian writer. Salvador was able to somehow hijack the rights to this story and has been planning for the last number of months to make a feature film out of it. So we did a few proof of concepts with this and another sequence in the film, and we've been running with it. Yeah.
I'm Hans Glassman. I did that really depressing thing at the end there. I'll just give a quick, brief introduction to that. It kind of started as a think tank film. I was walking my dog in the desert, and I got this really worried thought that maybe someone could attack me while I was out there and no one would know. And then the thought experiment became, what kind of person would do that? And then who would they be targeting? Coincidentally, I shot and wrote and all of that before all of the current turmoil that I'm sure many of you know about. We're from Utah, and so in our state. And so this is kind of an interesting film for me to be watching again and revisiting. So.
Yeah, I'm Tommy, and my film was The Listeners. It was a poetry film that was commissioned by a company called the Adrian Brinkoff Poetry Foundation, which is kind of putting poetry to screen. And I wanted to work with the actor Freddie Fox, and this was one of the poems that I suggested because I thought it would really suit, its gothic tone would really kind of suit his kind of formal acting style. It's a Victorian poem by Walter de la Mare, like a really famous poem called The Listeners, which is about this traveller turning up at this house, this kind of haunted house, and trying to make contact with the ghost there, but they just listen to him. And I wanted to kind of not just set it in a haunted house, and kind of I was thinking that with poetry, you kind of want to do something different, have a bit of a contrast, and sometimes the most boring thing you can do is kind of show what you're hearing. So we kind of decided to make it kind of science fiction-y, a little bit like Stalker in tone, and we had him kind of talking to this telegraph pole, which is this symbol of communication, and he's kind of reaching out to some kind of beyond or anything like that. I mean, it's super simple, really. It's a mood piece, and yeah, it was just a matter of capturing Freddie's performance, which was kind of remarkable. We had all these other ideas, and then on the day when he performed it, you just didn't really want to cut away because it was just such a captivating performance. So we just kind of made it super simple and tried to create a lot of space for the poetry to breathe, and I think that it was successful in that way. So yeah, thank you.
Hi, I'm Kristin. I'm from New York, and my film was Lanternfly. As many people on the East Coast know, the spotted lanternflies have kind of taken over the cities, and we thought that they were going to be really, really destructive to crops. Maybe also because they're from China, our government was really quickly saying we should kill them and stomp them, and this kind of propaganda really disturbed me as both a person who cares a lot about animals, but also as a medical student and who's taken a vow to do no harm. And so I could just imagine this story fairly quickly. It's my first film, so it was just a lot of fun to make with my friends. So yeah, that's it.
Hi, I'm Catherine Dyer. I was in Whiskey Rose, and it was written and directed by Conrad Whitaker, who is a friend. And I was going to direct it myself several years ago, and then COVID happened, and we scrapped it, and he cut the piece down to just a two-hander, and it's a proof of concept. And that's it. That was fun. It was fun to do. I got this book.
Thank you. And maybe you can ask some questions. You know, please ask actors and film directors.
They've been taking pictures of us, so I'm going to take one of you.
Good for you.
I have a question for Tommy. The aspect ratio, is that something aesthetically you like? Was that something that was forced on you by the foundation? Is there a reason? Because to me it felt like it was tunnel visioning me into the poem itself, but I didn't know if that was your intention or if it was just something that's aesthetically pleasing to you. I couldn't tell if it was 166 or 4:3.
Yeah, I think it was 4:3. Yeah, so it's a good question. I'm trying to remember actually why. I think it was because we were sort of looking at the subject, and when you're looking at a subject, it's kind of like having a portrait or a landscape kind of painting. And with this, it was kind of a lot to do with Freddie and his performance, and also the height of the tower as well.
Okay.
So it felt appropriate, and it also kind of gave it this kind of old cinema look. We were kind of referencing obviously Tarkovsky and whatnot, but also actually as we released them online, it actually looks better on Instagram as well. So it actually kind of works well, even though it's this kind of old cinema technique. It actually, with the new way Instagram works, actually it looks better. So yeah, win-win.
It's beautiful.
There you go.
Thank you. Beautiful.
How long of a journey for everyone's film to get done?
Do you want?
Ladies first.
Pre-COVID, right before COVID. So, remember those days?
Yeah.
Quaint.
So I thought of it and wrote it in August, and I realized the lanternflies were going to be gone in like 3 weeks. So
In August of last year, or just last August?
Last August, yeah. And the adults only last until like mid-September to
Wow.
so
Yeah.
it was like a month, and then took a couple months to finish editing. But I was working with film students, so they were quick.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
Did any lanternflies get harmed in the process of
No,
that?
that's a really good question. No, actually, so the one that gets stomped at the end, this is really weird, but I ordered preserved ones on Etsy, and somebody had beautifully preserved them, and so we used those as the props. Yes, no lanternflies were harmed except prior to when I ordered it on Etsy, maybe.
Yeah, it's fun working with animals, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Yeah. You can't really. They don't respond to a script very well.
No, they kept jumping off of my
Yeah.
head. It was fun.
Yeah. Ours was, I think it was not very long, and it was just a matter of when we could get Freddie, and I think it was like we could get him then, and we just had to do it. So yeah, probably a few months. They tend to be quite quick. They're quite simple films. So yeah.
From script to screen, probably about a year. I work with students at a university in Utah Tech, and I incorporated them all in the making of this film. And so the editing process on this one ended up taking a really long time because I had a student who was really interested in sound design and just wanted to take this on and play with a lot of the water and screaming and children laughing sounds that you hear throughout.
Jogging footprints.
And a lot of just like playing around, experimenting.
Similar to right here, Salvador Carrasco is the head of the film program at Santa Monica College. This is his own private pet project. So he brought in, similar to you, a lot of students from the college itself to help out in different positions with, with people who worked in the industry as the head in each group. Because he's, so much into, had so much time consumed by his teaching. We've shot 2 of these segments so far. They're probably within 9 or 10 months of each other, but he's been trying to do this for 2 or 3 years before that, since the break-offs of COVID. So it's been a long process, but getting there.
I wanted to ask about the music, very nice music in the film. It's his son, I think, he composed.
Juan Salvador, yes, I've known him since, goodness gracious, I've known him for a while. So Salvador's oldest son composed the music. He's a cello player, but he has his own group. He does all sorts of, job in, job out performances on, like even when like Jimmy Kimmel, they'll have a pop singer or something on stage, and if they have a classical orchestra, he's one of the go-to guys that they'll call up and have filling in the background. But he's been writing his own music for a number of years, and a number of the projects that we've worked on together, Salvador and I, his son has actually composed not just this, but many other pieces for many projects
But
that
this
the
music
schools
was
do.
specially for this film.
But this music was specially for this film, yes.
Yeah, I think it was very good.
That was a very strong bit where she touched the heart and the music kind of comes in. I thought that was
Yeah.
really strong. Yeah.
Yeah. Salvador is the only filmmaker in his family. Everybody else is involved in music somehow. You know, is Juan Salvador, the one that wrote this, went to the USC and got his master's in music. His second son is graduated from Bard in music, and his daughter right now is in Rhode Island, essentially doing the same. So, yeah.
I would like to ask you actually, because I liked very much your film, and the way it was filmed, the locations were very interesting.
So I'm very lucky. I live in a really unique part of the world. Any of you ever been to St. George, Southern Utah, Zion National Park, any of that area? Whoa, my brother raised his hand. Anyway, good, yeah, awesome.
I grew up in Idaho, the other Utah.
Oh yeah, given. That whole area is beautiful, it's stunning. You get red rock everywhere. If it's not red rock, right behind the red rock, you have these beautiful, lush mountains that are full of greenery. I'm gonna get really nerdy here for y'all. We live in a trifecta of biomes, and so we have a lot of endemic species in our area. So the Mojave Desert, the Great Plateau, the Colorado Plateau and the Great Basin all converge where I live. So we get all these really unique landscapes, which makes for some beautiful cinematography. My director of photography, who I wanted to have be here, Ben Brayton is his name, and stunning cinematographer, works all over in that region, and knows the area well and knows how to shoot it well. The beach stuff, not in Utah. We drove out to California. You have to have some pretty big licenses to film on the beaches in California. So we woke up really early. Yeah, plug your ears. We woke up really early in the morning, went down to where some people were playing with their dogs on the beach, close to Laguna Beach, and then down there we just shot it real quick. The one shot we have of her where the wave hits her, she's pretty far out. And it's this area where these big boulders are in the ocean, and the ocean just converges there and washes it out super fast. There was a lifeguard right next to us, and he was about to sprint and go get her, but she was able to swim back in. Everything ended up being okay.
It was very realistic.
The reason that shot ends wasn't for the edit. It was actually because my cinematographer he stopped recording because he was about to throw the camera down and go out and get her because she was way out there. It was kind of scary. So to answer your question, all of southern Utah and a little bit on the beach of California. So if you want to come visit me, that's where I am.
Yeah, the Utah footage, it looks like it was on the verge of rain sometimes. It was really beautiful. Did you guys have to dodge some moody weather?
I love this question. Thanks, man. The whole day we shot with him pulling the weapon out and doing all that. Beautiful day, absolutely clear. But that area, again, because of the convergence of all of these different biomes, storms just come in super quick. And so our location scout was just kind of watching the horizon and looks over at my director of photography and said, "Hey, I think we're out of time." And then I said, "We can't be out of time. Let's go." So what's neat is it kind of thematically lines up. As he starts to go into turmoil in his head, things got really stormy and dark. And it just kind of worked out for the edit. So I was pretty happy. But it was a total accident. Yeah.
But the themes of the water and the desert and the kind of the movement of that was very intentional.
That was very intentional.
Yeah. I thought that was really clever.
Yeah, and the storm's just a very happy accident that plays
yeah,
along with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Actually, it was a very good location in your film. Also, I liked, on the roof where it was, the view over the city, where it was filmed.
So that's the Edge platform in New York City. It's the highest outdoor deck, I guess, in the entire city, and it has that unique feature of having, all glass, but also which is specially designed that you can see through and you can also film through. And also the triangle in the middle that you can see down. And the reason we picked that location is because lanternflies do climb. They climb up trees to get their food, but they also just climb because they're bugs, and I can't really explain it, but they do climb up to the edge all by themselves. So at a certain point, the employees of the edge, you know, in their peak season, were like trying to get them off because they were kind of just really hanging out there. It's the highest place they can go.
Literally took days.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was just so beautiful to me that, like, despite it all, they keep going up.
I saw that, though, that wide shot up there, you were standing off the glass.
Yeah. I don't like heights. unlike the lanternflies, which I can relate to on so many things, but not that. It was also a very, very windy day, as you could see maybe by my hair blowing in my mouth constantly. So it was nerve-wracking. It was not my favorite place to shoot. I regretted it as soon as we got up there.
It worked though. Good for you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for asking.
I have a question. In Whiskey Rose, specifically the bedroom had a really like 70s vintage vibe. Was that intentional in the set design?
That was absolutely intentional. Yeah, it was in a trailer. This was shot way outside of Atlanta, and it was current day, but people have not progressed that much.
Yeah.
So yes, it was absolutely intentional.
Yeah, it gave me the 70s serial
I loved it.
killer, like
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah.
I said, that's why you do
I
heroin.
heard you. Semper Fi.
I have a question for all, please. What was the biggest challenge to make this film?
Being on camera with no makeup.
You did a good job.
I can thank you. No, I'm kidding. I really, since I did not make it myself, I just sort of showed up, luckily. But it was challenging, all the pre-prep. There was there were challenges, and then of course everything got scrapped because of COVID. But I got lucky. I could just show up and work with a good actor who was the writer-director. He was terrific.
Was the pre-prep that you did before COVID, did that pay off though for when you finally got back into it, or did you have to start all over?
He did it. The writer-director did all of it, so he didn't use anything that I did.
Okay.
But we were along. I mean, we talked, and we were along the same vein of the '70s, the trailer, hard scrabble.
I couldn't help but notice you poured about a half of bottle of whiskey in those 2 glasses. I was really impressed. Do you normally drink as much, or?
Whiskey Rose.
Yeah.
Ladies got a problem. I know.
When in Georgia.
Yeah.
I know.
Tall glasses, yeah.
Tall glasses. Yeah.
What challenges for the rest of
Yeah.
the team? Okay, so continue with the challenges question.
Is this being recorded? It is? Okay, I can't tell you the juicy one, but I can say
Turn it off.
I can say convincing the people, the private equity firm that owns the Edge, to let us film up there as students was extremely challenging. They normally only allow like very high caliber productions, very expensive productions. Their fee was really high, and we also told them we could pay them $0. So that actually took the longest amount of time in the whole production, but we managed to
And you did it for
convince
free? They didn't. Wow.
Yeah.
Good.
Probably I shouldn't even say that.
Yeah.
But it was
great.
Yeah, a really.
So
really
now you're gonna quit med
huge
school
honor
and
Yeah.
start directing?
That's the dream, right? Yeah, but we'll see. I like both. Yeah, but we'll see. Thank you though. Thank you. I can tell you the juicy one later.
Okay.
It was actually really enjoyable making this film, and it was just a really good crew, and working with Freddie as well. We're probably just trying to get him and try to line up his dates. He was actually like filming, I think, the new Marvel, so it's why he's got like bleach blonde hair in it, because he's playing Thor. So we were kind of trying to line up, and obviously it was kind of one of his, something that he just did for the love of it. So yeah, we were very lucky because he's kind of really blown up since then. But yeah, that was probably the biggest. And then the language as well was kind of difficult to get right. So yeah, that's always something when you're reading those kind of antiquated things. But yeah, other than that, it was just really enjoyable and nice.
That's awesome. I think the biggest challenge for our film probably, there were only 2 on my crew that had fully produced something before. So it was me and my director of photography. The rest of my crew were students. All phenomenal. Did a great job. I have no complaint about any of them, obviously, but there's a lot of just the give and take of that learning curve for them. I believe at one point I grabbed this the boom pole from one of my sound ops, and I was like, no, it needs to go here. And then she looked at me and she said, dude, I was doing that. And it was fun trying to get us in our place and figure that out. So.
For the film, I can't say what was the hardest for them to put it together. For me as the actor, they had asked me to lose weight long before we started shooting. And the first one I had, I think, 6 weeks, and I actually was able to drop close to 40 pounds before we started. This one I only had about 2.5 weeks, and I barely got to 15 pounds off. But that was difficult. And another part that was difficult, especially for this piece, knowing what was right for the character, even though it wasn't going to pop on screen. Knowing I had to play it awkward, knowing I had to play it straight, and with that unknowing, no clarity in my voice, knowing what was right for the character, but knowing, I don't know if that works in a bigger piece, not knowing if it would work in a proof of concept. So that was difficult for me, and then just deciding you got to go with what the character says. So.
Thank you.
Maybe a few more questions.
So from proof to concept to getting the film done, where are you guys at? And you're also, Catherine, yours is also proof of concept, right? Anyone else? And where are we going?
I'm gonna give it to someone else. I'll come back to me. Hold on. I gotta think about that. Good question.
Yeah, we're gonna make a 90-minute poetry film.
There you go.
Just Freddie Fox.
I'm doing that too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing too.
So
I would watch it.
Watch out for
I
it.
would watch it.
Thank you, Wayne. No, just more like I'm working with this company more, so just doing more films with them, as I said. Yeah, so.
Yeah, proof of concept. I don't know where it is now. I don't know. I haven't seen the full script or how much he's written. He's very prolific, this man. He's a really great actor, and he sends me shorts all the time. He's bizarre. He's got some really deep, dark, twisted ideas, which is fun. It's different. And he offers me roles that I don't normally play. That's what's fun. Maybe that's a challenge, but it's so enjoyable to do that against type.
All right, I came up with an answer. These are like babies, right? You work for years and sometimes months and sometimes just days, but you work forever on these, and then you have this, it's almost like, hey, it's done. And then you just have this moment of almost depression where the next idea needs to roll on you. For a long time, I was kind of in that space after this one. This was a hard topic for me.
You're in the desert.
Say that again.
You were in the desert.
Yes. Yeah. I was just wandering around out there with my weapons that I had. That director of photography and I, we're actually writing together a horror film now that's kind of about religious cults, and so we're going that direction now, a little bit different than this.
Can I be in it?
Please, seriously, we'll hit you up. So anyway, that's kind of where we're going and what we're doing now. As far as this film was going, it was always meant to just be kind of a one-off short, see where it goes. Yeah.
So maybe use the AK-47 on another film.
Yeah, man. I knew a guy. I know a guy. No, I know a guy who worked in the. He used to be in the military, veteran. He was our armorer, and then he was also the one that consulted us on the weapon. I know nothing about weapon. I'm not a gun guy at all. And so that whole, especially with a bunch of students around me, that whole process freaked me out. I wasn't loving it. I don't know if y'all know the story that happened to Alec Baldwin. Thank you. Yeah. Alec Baldwin and was it a director of photography?
Yes,
DP got shot on set because they didn't have an armorer on set that was keeping the gun safe or keeping the weapons protected, and so we were triply careful on that set. Which, I mean, it's Utah, it's the Wild West. We could have gone out there with fully guns loaded, no one would have batted an eye, but yeah.
It's quite interesting. You want to make a film about religious cult? Yes.
Yeah.
And what kind? In particular.
It's in Utah.
Because I'm also
no specific one, but definitely playing some tributes to certain religions that are prolific in the area. I won't call them out, but yeah.
I grew up Mormon, I'll call them out.
All right, the Mormons, he said. Yeah. I gave that to you as soon as you said that. Take it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So, any more questions? If no questions, then we can go outside and talk a little bit. And, tomorrow, it is important that everyone can come to the screening of the film of
Derrick Lui, Austria.
Yes, it's a feature film. He came from
Singapore.
Yes, and a long way, you know. So hopefully more people come. So
I'll be here. I'm coming. I'll be here.
and then we will have a award ceremony. So of course everyone deserves a prize. I think the film's wonderful today. So thank you, and we can continue.
Thank you.
This film is special to me because it was 10 years in the making. 10 years ago I started writing, and then we started with a budget. The budget grew bigger. It became a collaboration with Malaysia, then Hong Kong, then Taiwan, and then everything fell apart. In the end, we just made it with a bunch of friends. So what you're gonna watch is it's a friendship movie in every sense. Based on a true story that I witnessed myself. Although I used to race, you will see in the film, we executed car scenes all real, by ourselves. No CG, not Fast and Furious. Everything is done risking our lives, basically. Every car scene you will see, we had, I was in the car behind and we were chasing the cars with a modified truck with a Jeep on top, something like that. Yeah, so hope you enjoy the movie.
So really independent film.
A real, true independent film in every sense. Well, thank you everyone for spending your time here. Hope you enjoyed the movie. Yeah.
So maybe you can ask some questions. Maybe I ask the first question.
Yeah, sure.
So I understand it's a completely independent film, yes, without
Yes.
any state funding and not very many maybe private sponsors. Yes. But what kind of camera you used and how long it took to make?
What kind of camera we use is very interesting. You saw there's logo and credits that says Hong Kong Salon Films. Right, so they were one of our main collaborators at the beginning. They were supposed to give us funding. In the end, we lost all the funding. So I had to fly to Hong Kong from Singapore and kind of convince the boss to let me use the equipment in Malaysia, because we're shooting the cast is in Malaysia, right? Then, so I went to the DP, who was also belonged to the equipment company, who was looking after the equipment. And then we went to the container. All the equipment, all the lights and everything were in the container, because the equipment in Malaysia was closed. So no more, they were not doing it anymore. It was just storage. And then when I saw the equipment, I got shocked because all the equipment were like from the 90s, retro, right? Well, we should be like the film would be retro, like those 10K, 8K kind of lights, Bondian. No one uses it anymore. Nowadays, everyone uses LED. And then the lens, when I took it out, it was moldy with like cobweb. So in the end, I still had to take out my own money and rented lenses and equipment and stuff. So that's for the equipment. How many days it took? Amazingly, we shot it the whole film in I think about 14 days.
Wow, you did?
Yeah, 14 days. When you have no money, right? Then I saw so many short films by our fellow filmmakers here. You only have like one location, two actors, and that's about it, right? So we try very hard. But it's hard when you got a car racing film. You can't shoot it in one location, unfortunately. So yeah, so we try to keep it short. The shooting days, that's how we kept the cost a bit down. But still, each car scene we took a day to shoot. Most people would take 4 to 5 days to shoot one car scene. I shot a car scene in a day each. Yeah.
So maybe I have some more questions.
There were a lot of locations.
Yeah.
It was great. It was a lot of fun. I've got to say that the K-pop was unexpected and delightful.
Yeah, that's something that I wanted to shock everyone with, because it's like out of the blue, right?
Yes.
You guys come up to talk, to sing and everything. Yeah. I see a few Asian faces. Where are you from?
We are from China.
China, okay.
We are born here.
Born here. Oh wow, okay. Okay, great. So you don't know the actors?
No, sadly not.
If you knew, it'd be more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you understand the language?
Yeah, we did.
The Cantonese? Because actually it's...
Cantonese not.
So actually it's Mandarin, but there's some dialect in Cantonese and some bit of sprinkle of English. Yeah. So the father character, right? The father character, I made him speak dialect all the way. Because I come from a traditional Cantonese family. My father was from Hong Kong, my mother was from Malaysia. That's why it's a Singapore-Malaysian production. But I was born in Singapore. So it makes strange. Anyway, I came from the kind of family where the father is like that. Like, I don't know, no young guys here. Yeah. So I grew up in the traditional Chinese family where everything I did, I got back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Every small thing I did wrong, I just got hit. This is the Asian culture. I don't know whether you all can relate to it, but this Asian culture is true. And then I wanted to show it how I grew up, was like that. And he only spoke one language to all his family, but none of them spoke to him back in his language. So that the Asians will probably understand it slightly better. Because if you don't understand the language, then you think it's just Chinese. It's not. He speaks a different language, actually.
Could you talk about directing the actors? Did they have experience driving, like racing cars, especially wind? Or, I mean, did you have to teach them kind of all about drift racing, or?
Okay, so to answer the question, yes, the Win, the lead actor, actually he only knows the drive. So we taught him how to drift. So the basic drifts he could do, but the advanced ones he couldn't. But anyway, everyone else, especially like I call it the Sifu. You know what's the Sifu? Sifu means the grandmaster, the guy who helped him with the car at the end and everything with the Lotus, the master, right? He's a real drifter. He used to race and drift in Japan. Yeah. So he's not an actor. But how did he do? He did alright, right? He's acting. So I forced him. I said, "You have no money. Can you drift with us?" Yes, no problem. Oh, by the way, we have no money. Can you act for us also? So he said yes. And so far, I mean, everyone was watching things. He did quite a good job of acting. It was very convincing, right? Yes, that's the master. Yeah, but he's a real drifter. Everyone else, Yeah, many of them are all real racers and real drifters. That's how we managed to pull it off. Yeah, because if every actor didn't know how to do it, this would not be possible. The only way we could do this is if everyone was at the car racing world. Yeah.
Some of the race scenes look like they actually took place with like real traffic.
Yes.
Like, how did you do that? Like, especially on a budget as well.
Incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
Look at it, incredibly difficult. So let's say the mountain scene. So some people in Singapore ask you why I didn't shoot this movie, the car scenes in Singapore. So precisely, we don't have a mountain in Singapore. Unfortunately, we don't. Singapore is everything is flat, right? And then I wanted to drill 3 cars on the mountain, so we had to find a location, and the nearest was Malaysia. And then that mountain, it's actually a mountain where a lot of truck drivers deliver the vegetables and fruit from up, down, up, down. And then we didn't have budget, right? Like you say. So I hired 2 policemen together with my guys, my friends. They say, action, we block the top. And you can't imagine how much anger and bad words they got cursed. The guys on top, and they said, no, you can't move. We're filming. And then when I say, cut, we release the traffic and they can calm down. And then we do it again and again and again for the whole day. So I told my friends who did that, I said, let's go for a good dinner when we finish the shoot on the day, because I can't imagine how much you've been cursed today. Your father, your mother, and everybody. Grandmother, they were really cursed. And then the last scene was worse. The last scene, the last car scene, it was shot in the middle of the most busy street in Kuala Lumpur, in Malaysia. It's like the real city, and everyone is there, and the traffic jams. So I set up the camera in the cars like at 10 p.m. We rolled camera like 12 a.m. the whole night, to just race the whole night with the cars. So the only way by the way, we didn't have budget to close the road. If you're from Malaysia, you recognize it's the most busy road in Malaysia, like Central, where the shopping district is. So I basically hired 2 guys. We will block the traffic light every time we move. So every time we're going to cross the traffic light, we block them. And then it got cursed again. So I can't imagine how many friends got cursed in this movie. Yeah, and then we move, and then we say, car, okay, let traffic go. And then we do it again. We block traffic again. Just like that. No closing of roads at all. Yeah, incredible.
You had a couple of freeway or highway shots where you were passing cars too. Were those just random cars, or was it
random cars? So that's I would be walkie-talkie in my car chasing them. I'm the camera car, right? And I'll just tell them, okay, now you see the car in front.
Pass them.
A car you cut in from the left, B car you cut in from the right, and I'm going to chase you. And then if you chase them, you just cut them both, and then my camera car will just go by and say hi. and then see the driver getting a big shock. So we just made use of the cars on the street to become part of us. We didn't have the budget for extra cars. Yeah.
And the highway was also in Malaysia?
Yes.
For the camera car, the camera mount itself on the front of the car, were you able to get that equipment from the people that fell out on the money, or was that a homemade gear kit for the camera mount?
Okay, so like I said, everything that we couldn't get from the equipment house, I paid for it.
So you did pay for that, okay.
I even had to modify the camera car, because the camera car is not a car, it's a truck. It's a 4-wheel drive truck.
Okay.
So I'm from the modifications world. I modified my car since I was 18. So I modified my car from like 250 horsepower to like 500 horsepower. I'm that kind of guy. So yeah, so I basically modified the truck so that it was fast enough to chase the Porsche and the Lotus. Yeah, so I paid for both the cars, the modifications, the crane and everything. And we're chasing one of the, so at the end of the shoot, when I returned the lens, I had to rent it, right? They told me, I think you're in trouble because the lens is broken. And we didn't realize, DP didn't know, because it's so small, minute, correct? That it didn't affect our shoot at all. But when you return it, they said it's cracked. Well, why? Because when we chase the car in front, our lens is put on ground floor. ground level, right? So we race, we chase. So obviously when you chase the car, stones will come up. I didn't realize that until the shoot ended.
A lot of wear and tear on the lens.
Yeah, so we chase them, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, money again. So yeah. So basically, because we had no funding, I spent a bomb on it. Stuff like that. That's not related to the shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it was based on a true story.
Yes.
Where do you fit in this story, or is it someone else's story? I may have missed. Is there a component of you in this story as well?
A bit. Like I said, the way I designed the character of the father is, that's how I grew up with my father. The way that we were ostracized from another, that's also me. So in the Asian world, we are not that close and we hardly talk to each other before apart. But, yeah. So there was one line that my dad taught me in the whole film. I don't know whether he caught it. Maybe he caught it. One line.
I don't know what.
Basically, when I was young, when I was a kid, at the beginning, he said, the father said something like, when you drive, you must always look far. Yeah, that applied to driving, and it applies to life. So actually in the film, there are many things like that. That's a bit philosophical, and even the car scenes, to me, they are not meaningless. To me, every car scene teaches you something, if you think about it. There are three main car scenes by now, right? You should know. The beginning, which is the highway, the drift scene, and the ending scene. Especially the drift scene. Some car people watch it and they say it doesn't make sense. Why? Because usually to drift you need a certain kind of car. And in the three cars, only one is a drift car. The other two are Hondas. Hondas are front wheel, they are not drift cars. But I wanted to say in the part, the scene, that actually drifting is not the best way to get to the finish line. It's just nice. Same with life. A lot of us think that being very colorful and everything, we make us very successful. No, sometimes just being quiet and efficient will get you to the finish line faster. That was what I was trying to say in that racing. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much,
Yeah.
Derrick. You must
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.